Stay the fuck out of nigga lane. Hey, don't swear, don't swear, hey, don't swear. Push
All
lane.
right, all right. Here we go. We are back with another one. No games, just business podcast. I
Just
am just business. I am Darius. I'm here with my cousin Jimmie. What's up, Jimmie? How you feeling? How you living, cuz?
feeling good on a Monday. Feeling good on a Monday, man. We got the Monday night football going on as we speak on what we about to speak on, man. It's feeling like a beautiful week this week. Looking forward to week 5. We're gonna look back on week 4. It's a great weekend. How you feeling, Falcon fan?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. You see, we got to represent. Every time we get the dub, we got to represent the squad out here, man. We
sure,
2 and
for
2, should be 3 and 1, but we'll leave that for another day.
Yeah.
It's all right. But yeah, man, we blessed to be here, blessed to see another day. We got some exciting football, like you said, man. You got the Monday night showdown. I think it just closed out with the 49ers taking that dub, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're doing it now. About 5 minutes left. They got
5 minutes left? Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. It's ugly then, right?
24-9, man. The 49ers, they usually have the Rams number, man.
Every year. It's like it's consistent.
It's weird, man. Kyle Shanahan got it, man. He got it. You ready?
Versus the fake Sean, right?
Oh, yeah. Fake Sean doing his thing a little bit, got his ring, but we're going to see what he do this year. We're going to see what he do.
That's right.
For
Yeah,
sure.
man, let's get into this, man. What we got on the agenda today, man?
We're going to start with a topic that, we don't want to usually start with. We're talking about injuries here. We're talking about Tua, we're talking about lower. Concussion protocol, what is to come? What will change? What will be the outcome of this event? We're talking about potentially people dropping the ball, or we'll get into it, man. From there, we'll segue into topic 2. Two takeaways from week 4. We got even numbers here now, so some teams are 2 and 2. Right in the middle, we'll chop it up and really dissect that. We'll go into the backups taking over. We had Zappe out there. We had Pickett out there. We had Cooper still doing his thing 4-0 as a starter. We'll chop it up about those guys as well. From there, we'll go to 2 overrated and 2 underrated teams. Like I said, a lot of teams 2 and 2, a lot of teams 1 and 3, but that record don't tell the whole story. We'll get into that as well, and then we'll talk about the NBA preseason. This is a crazy one. We're talking about the Suns who have a lot of tension in the locker room, to say the least, between the head coach and stars who just re-signed. So this is going to be a long road, it seems, for these Suns. Then we'll talk about these Lakers and Russell Westbrook. The trade that could have, should have, would have happened. We'll get into it. And from there, we'll go into topic 6 with the fans and y'all questions, beautiful interactions. We appreciate y'all. We will answer those questions last. You ready to run it down?
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it.
So yeah, we get into a very tough topic. Something that we don't like to see. This football, NFL football in general. No matter what level you play at, you could be in Pee Wee, you could be high school, you could be in college. Doesn't matter, man. But very tough situation here. We had a big situation on Tua Tagovailoa. And he gets hit, takes a big hit. He gets up, he's a little wobbly, falls a couple times, and the issue is, did the doctor take the correct steps as far as the concussion protocol and to allow this gentleman to get back into the game? Obviously, I think a lot of us, if not majority of us, feel like he shouldn't have gone back into the game. Mm-hmm. From the NFL's official website here, protocol: when a player receives an impact to the head, the player goes into concussion protocol. If the player exhibits or reports symptoms or signs suggestive of a concussion or stinger, the team athletic trainer, booth, ATC, team's physician, NFL game official, a teammate, sideline unaffiliated neurotransmitter consultant, or booth UNC initiates the protocol. The player is immediately removed to the sideline and stabilized on the field to undergo the concussion assessment. He showed all signs of a true concussion. As we know, the NFLPA did get involved, and that doctor was immediately fired. He was not a part of the Dolphins organization, so he was outsourced by the NFL, but he was immediately fired because how should I say this? Because it was allegedly, I should say, he did not follow the correct protocols, and there was some mistakes in his process. Right. We then saw on Thursday night Tua takes another big hit, and we know that was ugly. That was nasty. I just hope that Tua's okay. I hope he can recover from this. I know he's out for week 5 officially. Right. But, that's not what we want to see. We want these guys to be healthy, play a clean game. None of those were dirty hits. You can tell that the guy versus the Bengals, he did try to catch Tua at the end. But, it happens, right? But we just want to make sure that these guys do get the proper steps. As far as a concussion, I can bring it, to myself. I did play college football at one point. And, unfortunately, I did sustain a slight concussion my senior year. And I can tell you now, I didn't pass the concussion test when I was supposed to get back on the field. But as a player, you want to get back on the field, right? You're like, hey, I can't let my team down. This is what I want to do. It's my senior year. You're thinking about a lot, right? Tua's thinking about, this is my big year. I'm playing well. The team's doing well. This is a big game. So of course he wants to get out. So he's like, oh, it's my back. It's my knee. It's my ankle. So he's trying to find every way to get out of it. But, as a coach, I blame everybody, right? As a coach, if you see this kid as your son, you wouldn't want to see your son in that situation. I'm not saying he did this purposely, but I think that you should have just pulled to it. You got to save the player from the player, because at the end of the day, the players want to play. This is what they do for a living, right? They want to compete. They're warriors. They want to play. So sometimes you got to step in and say, I can't let you do this. You can't do this to yourself. We need you this one game. We don't need you this one game because I need you for the next 13 other games. So I can lose you for a game and a half. We got this. But when you come back, I know what you're going to do. But just take it easy this one. Take a step back. So, I blame everybody in the situation. And hopefully moving forward, I'm sure it'll get adjusted next time. Everyone's going to know and realize what they need to do in those situations, and it'll get better.
I'm glad you ended with it will get better, because I truly believe it will get better. And sometimes terrible situations have to happen for things to get better. And I believe this is a terrible situation. Across the board, I do believe blame needs to go everywhere. Nothing's 100%. So the one person who did get fired, to me, all that blame is not on that one person. I believe, like you said, I've been, I've had concussions as well. And in that moment, every concussion is different. But in that moment, knowing your body and knowing that something's wrong is something a player can do and your teammates can do, something your coaches can do, something the trainers can do, something the water boy can do, the ball boy can do as well. I believe going forward, the NFL will and already has made a change. If you just look at this weekend and the multitude of players who were benched due to concussion protocol. But
Brian Hoyer.
Yes, Brian Hoyer. You got Amos from the Packers. You got a couple guys. Now, as far as the NFL, they dropped the ball to me over and over and over again when it comes to what's important and what is not. And it takes situations like this for things to come to a head and for things to really be to really change. But the biggest difference I see in the new protocol is the gross motor instability, and that's coming from Mike from the NFL's NBC. He's saying that before, a gross motor instability wasn't a be all end all. You had the potential to come back into the game. Now the difference is once they recognize that is what's going on, you'll be sidelined and the potential for you to come back in the game is no longer there. We're not talking about someone making a decision. We're talking about the symptoms being the decision. You don't need to go to your doctors to see what happened with Tua. You don't need to, anyone with capable vision was able to see what was what. We need someone to save the players from the players, but at the same time, the owners and the staff need to be saved or corrected in a sense as well. And I'm glad you brought up the fact that it wasn't a trainer for Miami. A lot of times we think that these corporations it's their guys who are calling the shots, but the NFL has a union, and so with that being said, like you have great potential. It's a great sign for the NFL going forward, because without that being there, we might be talking about an example that was not set, someone not being fired, someone not being held accountable, when that's the key when things like this happen. And hopefully we can get better and not prolong this too much, and move forward in a positive direction.
Yeah, for sure. And we hope Tua, we hope he's okay. We do hope he gets healthy first, and then we hope we see him back on the field, because that's not this is something that you can't play with.
Right. Definitely right, man.
So let's get on some positives, man.
Yeah, let's
get on some positives, man.
Oh yeah. Let's go to the two takeaways, man. It was a solid week, I would say. Not too juicy, but we had the Ravens and Bills games. What's your take on whatever you got to say, man? What's up?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna break down NFC, man. I'm gonna break down the top teams in the NFC currently, because I see it, man. The NFC is up for grabs right now. There's not a dominant team. We can't even say the Bucks this year is the team to beat in the NFC at the moment, because we don't know which team that is, because no one has taken it over yet.
Right.
Green Bay, they're still trying to figure out their young receivers. They're still trying to develop them and get them going. They've been trying to establish the run this year, which has been great. A.J. Dillon has been looking good. Aaron Jones has his ups and downs week to week, right? But versus the Patriots, the young receivers did step up and did help Aaron Rodgers and the Packers win that game, which was fantastic to see. Then we're gonna go to Philly. Philly's looked good, right?
Yeah.
But Philly hasn't played that playoff caliber team yet. The Vikings was there. The Vikings 3-1. I had the Vikings going to the playoffs, fighting against Green Bay to win that division. But that's about it, right? But you know what about Philly? They're playing well. They're winning the games that they're supposed to win. So it doesn't matter about the talent. You got to play the team that's across from you. But you're doing your damn thing, Philly. Jalen Hurts is looking good. That offense is looking good, and that defense is still looking dominant. So they're winning the games that they're supposed to, but hopefully we're able to see them against a playoff caliber team again. And hopefully they continue this streak in the playoffs. Then we're going to go to the Vikings. I just need them to stay consistent. I need them to stay consistent. Kirk Cousins got to stop turning the ball over. Defense still got to play. Dalvin Cook, hopefully we can see him stay healthy. Justin Jefferson has his ups and downs so far this year, but hopefully he can pick it back up, because when he has big games, he has really big games. He can go for 150 plus easily any given Sunday. So Then we go with the Rams. They just got steamrolled by the 49ers like they usually do. But the offense got to get the ball rolling. What is going on with this offense? Again, they can't run the football.
Yeah, that line is in shuffle mode. And that's not a system where there's a revolving door.
Exactly. What is going on in LA? It's not an end-all be-all with Cooper Kupp. He can't do it all by himself, and he's the only one that looks good.
Right.
Matthew Stafford looks like he's hurting. Something in his elbow or something's wrong with him. I don't know about Allen Robinson, man. At this point, we just got to understand his career is just isn't the same. Chicago messed him up. Bring back OBJ, man.
Yes, they need another weapon. I agree.
The defense can't win these games, man. The defense can't bail them out because you need the offense to score points, and they're not putting up the points that they're supposed to be because they don't even have a balanced offense right now. So offensively, they got to step it up. Then we're going to go to the Cowboys. Cooper Rush looked good. He looks solid so far. But besides Cooper Rush and the defense and CeeDee Lamb, you know what? The receivers are actually playing pretty well. I'm talking about this run game. What is going on with this run game? Zeke?
Yeah, he got a lot of carries of it.
Oh, my God. Zeke just looks slow. He looks heavy. He's not explosive. I want to see what this team looks like with Dak because Cooper Rush is actually playing pretty well. And the defense is still playing really good, which is what we talked about. We talked about this team having to establish the run a little bit, but the defense has to play, and the defense is doing their part. I'm looking for when Dak comes in. Dak, you gotta get this team in the playoffs because if you don't, I don't know, man. Cooper Rush, I don't know, man. Get that man in there. And then you know what? This is a surprising team in the NFC that's playing pretty well, man. The New York Giants. My boy Saquon is here, man. My comeback player of the year, man. He cooking up so far.
You talking about 150 from the running back position.
He's dynamic, explosive. He's everything for the Giants.
For sure.
And again, I don't like seeing people getting fired from their jobs, but that training staff has to get fired. Fire everyone. Bring in the Lakers training staff. Matter of fact, the old Lakers training staff.
Oh, okay.
The one Bernie Mac used to go see, man.
It was the
Because I don't know about them. But yeah, man. The Giants, Saquon's looking good. And you know what? I'm happy that they're playing pretty well. I'm happy Saquon is healthy and CMC, even though he's on a low management. I'm happy they're both healthy. Hopefully that can stay that way. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the Giants playing well. So yeah, the NFC is up for grabs right now. I want to see who's going to take the next step and take over that conference.
Right. I like it, man. I like it. The NFC, we thought, maybe 2-3 teams going in, but it does look like it's up for grabs. That pool is definitely extended. The top does not look like the top. It looks just like almost really the middle of the pack.
Oh,
so
yeah.
The Eagles, though, with all that being said, the Eagles will be the number one seed. That's my number one.
It's trending in that direction.
And they're only going to lose 2 games. I believe the 3 games that they potentially will for, because they played the Cowboys twice, I believe they'll lose to the Cowboys 1 time. I believe that the Packers or the Colts will win. I believe it will be the Packers before the Colts, unless the Colts are in dire situations. You know what they do in dire situations. Now, with that being said, the Eagles, the O-line and D-line, we can argue the top 5 in both, maybe top 2. And that is what they can hang their hat on. Their defense, the secondary it's crazy right now. You're talking about Slay, a top 5, top 10 corner in this league. You're talking about Fletcher Cox and Jordan Davis, the way they're able to stuff the run. And you got Bradbury back there. They have a lot of weapons, a lot of different things, a lot of different ways they can beat you. It can be true.
Bradbury is a sleeper at corner.
Very much.
That was a great pickup by them.
And he definitely helped the Giants out last year. As well. Now, as far as the Eagles and what I believe they can do because of that line hasn't been challenged. And like you said, that playoff team, the Vikings don't have that line. The Colts, yeah, offensively, you got the Packers. They can get out the quarterback a little bit. They could, but until they're truly tested, which will happen in the playoffs, I think this team will do what they need to do. They take care of business, and but in the playoffs, I think that favorable schedule will bite them in the butt when it comes to playoff situations and going against contenders, true contenders. You're not having to go against a dog on the other side offensively. You're talking about Trevor Lawrence, who had a trash QBR this week. He didn't play his best. And I'm looking for the Eagles to go against a quarterback who's playing good or well, and they have to match that. My other takeaway is going to be the Patriots way is well and alive, man. I got to shout out Jack Jones, number 13, the rookie.
Yeah, that was a good pick. That was a good pick.
Great pick six, and in the first play of the game, he forces a fumble. He doesn't force a fumble. Well. He recovered the fumble. He did his thing, man. There's always these no-namers. You're talking about Malcolm Butler. Players like that, I believe Jack Jones can be that guy. The Patriots way is well and alive. We're talking about Zappe pushing that bad man to OT with the mind of Bill Belichick behind him. Bill Belichick was fired up. I like to see it. I love positive passion. I love negative passion. I love you throwing your mic on the ground, showing your team that I don't care if Mac is not here. I don't care if Brian is not here. We here to win the game. The Patriot way it tastes so good. It leaves me speechless. Now for like 2 decades now, man. And I just would like to say the Patriots way is well and alive. I'm proud of y'all boys pushing that the Green Bay team to an overtime battle. From there,
yeah, I could respect that. I could respect that.
Okay.
We'll get into Zappe a little later, but I could definitely respect it. Y'all did play a very tough football game. I was rooting for y'all, man. I'm like, get the Packers out of here, man. Pack them up real quick. Pack them up and ship them out, man. Get them out of here.
We're gonna talk about the Packers a little later too. But let's get into these guys who are applying pressure to these starters, man. They on their neck.
One more.
What's up?
My second takeaway.
Okay.
Second takeaway. MVP race looking fun right now. Looking real fun. I know you got Pat Mahomes. I got Josh Allen. But we got 2 other contenders in there, man. We got Lamar Jackson.
Do we?
He's tied for first in passing touchdowns with Jared Goff and Patrick Mahomes at the moment. So we got Lamar, and he's leading all quarterbacks in rushing yards right now. He's looking super dynamic. Pat Mahomes, only 2 interceptions on the season so far. And did you see this man's like a magician out there on the field, man.
Like no other can.
This man is something different.
One of one.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, you got him. He went out there and beat up on the Bucks real quick. You also got Josh Allen. I love the resiliency. I love the resilience that he showed, the toughness that he showed, leading that Bills against a tough Ravens team. That was a good win. That was a really good win. And then you got Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is down there leading this Philly team 4-0. He's looking like the captain. He's looking like a true leader for this team. And I think the consistency of that team can help him win an MVP if they stay undefeated. Like you said, if they lose 2 games, I wouldn't be surprised if he won MVP.
Yes, I definitely agree with that, man. Definitely
Two. If Tua gets healthy, he might be a sleeper too. Who knows? He's up there in passing yards.
Man, and the MVP race for me, it matters. It definitely matters, but guys are definitely different in the regular season as opposed to when it's time to really win in that postseason. And MVPs, I associate wins with that, not just stats. You could be the top pass rusher. Top pass thrower. We talking about Jared Goff, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson. Those are all three different levels. All. Lamar to me is middle. Jared, he can't. He can put up points. He could put up points. Patrick Mahomes is creme de la creme. So that TD number, I get it.
Pat Mahomes, different breed, man.
Different, man. Different. And I believe he'll run away with this thing, man. I think by the end of the season, middle of the season, we'll know. I think he'll run away.
Run away?
The Lamar game we just seen, that's not happening with Patrick Mahomes. I'm sorry.
Run away, though?
You just talk about.
All right. So if Philly goes 15-2, Pat Mahomes is running away with the MVP.
Yes, and why? Because the Eagles roster, you could argue, is the best from top to bottom. Where's their weakness? Patrick Mahomes has weakness on his roster. Patrick Mahomes just lost his top or second best receiver. He just added another number one.
Who they lose?
Tyreek.
Oh, Tyreek. Okay.
Yeah. But then the Eagles have a lot of different things you can hang your hat on. You're talking about a top 5 corner, a top 5 deep nose guard, a top 5 line, a top 5 maybe receiver at the end of the year if A.J. Brown keeps eating up, or top 5 receiving core maybe. You're talking about dynamic duos, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek, Smith and Brown. They killing it over there.
I don't know. I can't see Pat winning unless he wins at least 11 games.
That's happening.
11 to 13 games.
Mm-hmm. He on a mission this year. He on a mission. Lamar.
Oh, he's definitely on a mission. Lamar
is too. You know, it was a tough game. We'll get into him as well. But this man Patrick, he's ready. He's set and he's ready to go. You ready to go to this next topic?
Let's do it, man.
Let's go. The backups applying pressure, man. They on their neck. Kenny Pickett, Zappe, Cooper Rush. They all over the place, man. But you want to get started with these young guys, or what's up?
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna break it down here. So we're gonna start off with your boy Zappe. Made his NFL debut as a rookie. Mm-hmm. He went 10 for 15 on 99 yards and a touchdown. Yeah. He played solid. He did what he was supposed to do.
Right.
He didn't turn the football over. That's what we need you to do is game manage. That's what Tom Brady did for. No. Let me take that back. But you know what I'm saying. That's what Mac Jones does, right? Mm-hmm. That's the Patriot way. Don't turn the football over. We're gonna play defense. And we'll be okay. But a lot of his passes were you know, you got to get him acclimated. This is a very tough Packers defense. You're playing in Lambeau. That's another tough position. This is your first game. You're a 6th round draft pick. You know, so a lot is going through your mind here. But a lot of his passes were either, you know, drags, short drags, or bubble screens, or screens in general. So the passes he did throw down the field, they weren't accurate at all. A lot of them were thrown right to the ground. But he did move well in the pocket. He sensed pressure very well. He was poised. I liked it. But obviously we know when Mac Jones comes back, that's his spot no matter what. Because I think the passes he did miss, Mac Jones would have made that.
True.
So Mac Jones, he's going to get his spot back. Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush got Skip Bayless thinking Cooper Rush is the best quarterback in the league right now. So I don't know. Jerry Jones said if I got a quarterback problem, then that's a great problem. So I don't know what's going on in Dallas. I don't know if they're turning on Dak. Who knows? But he's playing well. I got to give it to him. He's playing well. 0 turnovers. That's what I like to see. That's important. Don't turn the football over. Right? 95 passing rating. You're playing well, Cooper. You're winning games. You're not turning the football over. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You're getting CD the ball. We love it. I do think Dak is going to take that spot back when he comes back, obviously, because that's the franchise. But, hey, if Dak, you don't get this team to the playoffs, and you start losing games, and you start getting down like you were before and throwing 300 to 400 yards in the fourth quarter when it's bum time, then we're going to need to look in a different direction. But I'm going to say he's going to come back and take that spot. But I don't know, man. Cooper Rush is playing pretty well. So we'll see. Third one is Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
We talked about this last week.
Mm-hmm.
We gave Trubisky 1 game.
Yep.
I think actually you said Kenny Pickett was going to play this week. If I'm not mistaken, I think you said that.
I definitely did.
Right on the money, man. I gave Trubisky 1 more week. He didn't even last 4 quarters. So in his debut, he threw 3 picks. Whatever. You're a rookie. 2 of them. Two, yeah, exactly. 2 of them were lob passes. Whatever. Give me that. But he showed some flashes though. He wasn't afraid to throw the ball downfield. You could tell he runs very well. He's a very mobile quarterback. And he had 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yep.
Whatever. Hopefully Mike Tomlin can develop him. And they continue to move forward, right? Because Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season, but they're trending in the wrong direction at the moment. Couple quarterbacks on the hot seat. Heineke for Wentz. Sam Darnold for Baker. And Andy Dalton for Jameis Winston. It's trending in that direction. So it might be backup season soon.
It really might be, man. The Kenny Pickett one, man. Like, even those 3 interceptions, you talking about 10 for 13. 3 interceptions, like, basically was perfect if it wasn't for them interceptions that mostly was not your fault. But
yeah,
that's neither here nor there. The Jets, you talking about Sauce Gardner over there as well. We will look back on this game and say that Kenny Pickett went against an elite corner his first game. That matters. And I believe Trubisky, he's done for. It's over with. Man, he's talking about Zappe. We're talking about Cooper Rush. We're talking about Sam Darnold. A lot of these teams are one piece away. The Colts, one piece away. The Cowboys, we don't even know. Like you said, we don't know what's going on there. Jerry Jones is willing to get likes and clicks and shares when it comes to that quarterback controversy, as opposed to, you paid your guy already. Back your guy. Like, there's just certain things that you just don't do when you're saying this is my franchise guy. For them to even be playing with Dak like that right now is crazy to me. Cooper Rush is 4-0, but were there any impressive wins? You're talking about the Commanders. Was that impressive without Chase Young? Carson Wentz. I hope my backup's better than Carson Wentz, because Carson Wentz is trending in the direction of a backup, like you said. Taylor Heineke knocking on the door. I'm surprised they didn't put him in this week. So surprised. But we will see him very, very soon. Zappe, he's not coming for Mac like that, but with a great mind behind him, I believe he has a bright future. Maybe that's some trade bait. Maybe Mac is knocking on wood. Maybe Mac's injury prone. We got Zappe there. Like, in today's game, you need a great backup. Look at the 49ers. I'm not saying that we need it, but to have one is an amazing thing. You're talking about the Steelers with Kenny Pickett. I want to touch on Kenny Pickett one more time. 20 points twice this year, 20 or more points the Steelers got. The first time was against the Bengals, week 1, overtime. They got to 23 points. And then this week with Kenny Pickett, they got to 20 points. This team is way more explosive than 20 to 25, 24 points a game. You're talking about Claypool, you're talking about Washington and Najee Harris. They have the potential in a division where it's 2-2 across the board. Kenny Pickett is in there at the right time. Now they're going against these Bills next week. It's going to be tough, but you're going to got Tre'Davious White over there. Poyer's back. Like you said, Hyde's out for the season.
Poyer made a big play. 2 big plays. 2 picks last week. I mean, this past weekend. This Sunday.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to really see what Kenny's made of quickly, but this team is poised for success, and I'm going to touch on them a little bit later on. You ready to get into this?
Let's do it.
Underrated?
Let's do it. Go ahead and start it off, man.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and I feel like talking about these Steelers, man. I'm gonna start with the underrated. I believe the Steelers are that team. They are an underrated team. They are 1-3. TJ Watt will be back. Minka Fitzpatrick is still there. I just spoke on the offensive weapons they have. Kenny Pickett will play to win the game as opposed to Trubisky playing to not lose. Trubisky was scared. Trubisky's been scared. The Bears messed him up just like they messed Allen Robinson. They messed Trubisky up. I believe Trubisky had potential.
Oh my goodness!
Until the Nagys. Like, what are you doing? We have to put a mobile quarterback in better situations. Justin Fields is not doing too well. Hope they don't mess him up. But Kenny Pickett, along with a great mind behind him, Mike Tomlin, was going to be able to do something this year. I'm not saying they'll make the playoffs, but next year they will be a force to be reckoned with. From there, I want to go to my other underrated team, the Bills. I believe this team is underrated, and yes, we do have them as Super Bowl favorites. Most people do, but I still believe they're underrated. This team will be an all-time great team. I believe they're proving it early on in the season without their stars. They're still able to make big plays and be in big games against contenders. You're talking about the Dolphins. We're talking about the Ravens. You're talking about White not being there. We're talking about Hyde not being there. Poyer just coming back. Von Miller, he's very impactful, but you're talking about the combination of those, the pass rusher, the back end, the safety, the versatility, Josh Allen. You're talking about having the same amount of carries as Singletary and exceeding him in yards. He is the run game, much like Lamar.
Yeah, he's taking over that backfield at this point.
That defense is proving a lot. You're talking about the heat in Miami. You're talking about the rain in Baltimore. Extreme weather on two different ends. 90 snaps against Miami for a team full of backups. That team, to me, will be great for years to come. McDermott, Josh, the way that team is constructed, they are underrated, in my opinion, while also being at the top of the list. I don't know how it's possible, but two can be true. We go with your underrated.
Yeah, I could agree that the Steelers is definitely underrated. I think a lot of critics and people have counted this team out because they lost games that they're supposed to win. They were supposed to win that Jets game, no matter what. But the Jets is playing just as tough as a lot of other teams that. Like, I'm just surprised how teams aren't steamrolling over the Texans, over the Lions, over the Jaguars, over the Jets. Like, these are teams that usually get steamrolled, and these teams are playing the solid teams and even good teams just as tough as anybody.
It's true.
So yeah, with this Steelers offense, man, they got so much talent. They're not even using Claypool. Deontay Johnson isn't even having the start of his season as he had last year. You have Najee, who's been pretty banged up, but come on, he's a dual threat running back, catching, running the ball. Right? Kenny, I hope he can come in and change this team around because y'all can win this division. Buffalo. Only thing with them, obviously they're still my Super Bowl favorite, our Super Bowl favorite, right? Still the Super Bowl favorite, but you're right because they had, they lost to Miami. They had the tough game against Baltimore. People are probably counting them out at this time. Only thing I'm worried about them is their offensive weapons because Isaiah McKenzie, I think he has a concussion, and Crowder also had the ankle injury, and then you also had Gabriel Davis, who's been battling injuries as well the last 2 weeks. So we're just hoping that offense can stay healthy. Because, again, I don't want to see Josh Allen being the focal point of my run game. So the Bills got to get it together as far as finding a solid running back. And Derek Singletary has been playing pretty well, but they've been using more in the passing game than they have in the run game.
So he's not even receiving back like that either.
Exactly. So my first underrated team, you already know, Jacksonville. Dougie P in the place to be.
Okay.
Got the Jags looking like a playoff team. Come on, man. I'm going to bring them back with the bars, man. Bring the bars back. But this team is 2-2. And defensively, they looking like the real deal.
Yeah, that's true.
They're top 10. They're top 10 in passing yards. No, they're middle of the road in passing, and they're top 10 in rushing. So you can't run the ball against this team. They're tied for first with interceptions on 7 on the year. The offense is playing pretty well. Josh Lawrence is stepping up and he's using his weapons like he's supposed to. Obviously, they played a very ugly game in Philly, but they still played them tough. It was still a very close game, right? Even though there was so much rain, you can't pass the ball. But I think if the conditions were different, that game could have been on the other side.
Could have, definitely.
Could have, right? Mm-hmm. But they got a couple games that I think they can steal here. They got Houston, the Colts, and the Giants. I think they can steal those games. That may put them at 5-2. I don't know. The Colts is like up and down. They're a roller coaster right now.
You never
Jonathan, exactly. They win the games that they're supposed to lose, and they lose the games that they're supposed to win. I don't know. I'm gonna leave Matt Ryan alone. I said I was gonna leave Matt Ryan alone this week, so I'll leave him alone.
Yeah.
But this team can end up 5-2 in the next 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Continue to play defense. Hey, they might win that. They might win that division. And my second team, it's gonna surprise you, but I'm gonna bring them up because I like them and I like Hard Knocks. Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions, man, they're a sleeper, but not sleeper as far as wins and being a playoff team. They played with so much heart, and I like Dan Campbell.
You're right, man. Definitely
but
right.
They can't play fucking defense.
They really can't.
They put up the most points in the league. No one can stop this offense, but they can't play a lick of defense. Only person that's playing defense is Jeff Okudah, and this is his third season. It took him 3 years to develop into a solid corner.
He was hurt one of them.
Yeah. I wanted the Falcons to pick him at one point, so I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying it took him a while to get acclimated with the NFL game.
Mm-hmm.
But this team has a top 5 offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
They're top 5 in total offense. They score the most points in the league, but they give up the most points in the league.
That defense.
What the hell is going on in the defense? Jeez.
Safeties for real.
They need safeties. They need corners. They need linebackers. They need
everything.
They need D-line. They need everything because this is ridiculous. But if they had a defense, this team will be on the opposite side of the totem pole, and they will be scaring teams right now.
Yes.
So
they'll be in every game. They will be.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So let's go ahead and get into these overrated teams, man.
Yeah, you want to start it off?
Yeah, I started off. My first one is the Titans.
Okay.
That was one of your playoff teams.
They will
going into the season.
They will.
Okay, they still will. Okay, I don't agree. They wasn't in my playoffs, and they still aren't.
Okay.
Derrick Henry is finally getting into the groove, but I'm leaning toward Jacksonville winning this division. I really think Jacksonville is going to take this, and it's mainly because of coaching staff. We broke down coaching staff at one point and how important it is, and I think we equally agree that is just as important as having really good players. But if you could put players in positions, it could kind of be the Patriots way without having to be the Patriots way, right? Because it's all about developing players. True. Because I can get a guy in the 4th round and he'd be a solid player. I can get an Alvin Kamara in the 3rd or 4th round and he'd be a good player the way he is today. Mm-hmm. And you know why? Sean Payton, right? Sean Payton developed him. I'm not saying Alvin wasn't talented himself, but pairing him with Sean put him in a better position.
True. You're going to maximize that talent.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So this team is in the middle of the road in offense, and they have a horrible pass defense. Trey Burks just went down. I don't know. I just don't see it with this team, man. I just don't see them. I think they're way overrated than what they really should be. They beat the Colts. Who cares? But I think the Jaguars are going to take that division. So get them out of here. My second team is the Broncos. I said that they were going to lose this division from the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Russ was supposed to come there and change life, and he hasn't. He's been running for his life. He's been running for his life because the offensive line looks horrible.
It's crazy.
There's no flow in this offense. There's no consistent flow in this offense. Don't get me wrong, Cortland Sutton is playing fantastic because he's a good player, and you have an upgrade at quarterback, so that elevates your talent. Great. Jerry Jeudy's finally playing well now that he has a quarterback, and I wanted Jerry Jeudy on the Falcons at one point, just like I wanted CeeDee Lamb. But we took A.J. Terrell that year. They took CeeDee Lamb right after us, the Cowboys. But you just lost Javonte Williams, your number one running back.
Yeah.
Now you got to rely on Melvin Gordon, who's leading the league in fumbles at the moment. You got to hold on to the football, man. I won't be surprised if Mike Boone takes that lead role, and then Melvin comes in as like the third down back.
Yeah, sure.
You lost Javonte Williams for the rest of the year. Randy Gregory's out for 2 to 4 weeks. Man, I don't know. I don't think that the Broncos has it this year, but my prediction was for them to always be better next year. I thought next year was their elevation year. Okay. This year was going to be like a slow start. Next year is when it's like, all right, let's ride now. Yeah, we can use that now, Russ.
Okay. Them Titans, man. That division, when you look at it, there's only one team, in my estimation, that has a great unit or a great style. They're great or dominant at something, and that's the Titans' run game. I don't believe Colts will be able to stop that run like that or establish a run against them like that. I believe you're talking about the Jags. The coaching, they win that matchup. Mike Vrabel's not that far off. But as far as X's and O's, Dougie P's on another level. And talents on that offense, they can put up points quickly. And if Tannehill's turn the ball over, I could see how the Jags get it done. But the Texans turn the ball over. You talking David Mills. I don't even remember the last time David Mills didn't have a 2-interception game. Now, I just don't know what's going on with the Texans and the turnovers. But the Titans, we're gonna see about Derrick Henry, King Henry, the best running back in the game. Nick Chubb has something to say.
Whoa, I was about to say Nick Chubb is out there cooking up this
but
year.
He might have Kareem Hunt. But Kareem Hunt ain't been doing too much. But the fact that Kareem Hunt gets about 10 to 15 carries a game or 10 to 15 touches, I'm going to give Derek the slight edge, even off that injury. Yeah, and I can't really say much about the Broncos. You're on the money with that, man. Like that's an overrated team. I thought Russ would have changed life over there. Thought it'd been way more competitive. Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, it's a debate right now, and I can't believe I'm even saying that, man.
I think I saw a statistic that was saying that Geno was doing better than Russ statistically at this time during the year with the Seahawks. And I was like, wow.
I'm going to get into my overrated. I don't even know where I want to start because both of them, they just making me itch a little bit, man. I'm going to start with that bad man or whatever. Aaron Rodgers, man. Yeah,
I was going to go there, man. I was thinking about going there too.
Man, it's just I'm tired of this. The NFC appearances, the 13-3s. I need more. And the 3-1 start is not very impressive. It's an overrated start to me. You're talking about you beat the Vikings. I mean, my fault. You lose to the Vikings. Justin Jefferson goes off, and Jair Alexander was in that game. You didn't scheme him up enough to be one-on-one with Jefferson that game, and I believe that is why you lost the way you did. You scored 7 points as well. That's on that bad man. Now, we're going to go to barely beating the Bucs, a team that was beat up on offense, that you could not expose. A team that your defense did a solid job, 12 points, almost gave up the touchdown at the end if it wasn't for the false, not the false start, but the mismanagement of the clock, Tom Brady and that offense. And then you're going to go into the overtime against Zappe. Those are not impressive wins. That's not an impressive loss. We're talking about Jair Alexander being in and out the lineup. This defense, this team is not like the Bills. The Bills are showing sort of a revolving door type of ordeal, especially on that defense. The Packers don't have that. The Packers don't have the depth. The Packers don't have what the Eagles would have when we talk about total roster. Even the Bucs, total roster. You can point to injuries as to why the Bucks aren't doing what they need to do, but you can still hang your hat on that defense. That the Packers don't have that. The Packers can hang their hat on that run game, I will say. And with that being said, that's what has allowed them to have that 3-1 record. I don't believe they'll be able to do much. Talking about a 27-10 win against the Bears, that's the most impressive one they got. And that Bears team, we don't even need to speak on them too much. The Packers are overrated in my eyes. From there, I go to them Ravens, man. The Ravens are overrated to me. You're talking 2-2. You're talking about beating teams that are not in contention. New England Patriots, I hate this. We are not in contention. The Jets, they are not in contention. But the teams that are, the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills, are in contention. And they lost in not convincing fashion, but in
they played tough games against them, though.
They did, but it's heartbreaking fashion. You're talking about a team that needs to prove something against the top dogs, because let's not forget Lamar's 1-3. I mean, the Ravens are 1-3 in the last couple postseasons against top end teams. One of those teams being the Bills, another team being the Titans, a team that doesn't even have an explosive offense. You're going back and forth with Miami, where you're not going to be able to have that same luxury in the postseason. It's about running that ball, establishing your style of play. Your style of play should be enhanced when you have the lead. It should not. If any team is going to, be ran down or came back, it should not be a team that can run the ball. You're supposed to be able to control the clock, run the ball, and chew the clock up in a manner that doesn't allow for the other offense to be explosive. That secondary doesn't allow for the defense to be what they used to be. The Ravens defense of the Super Bowl defenses, the historic defenses, that division in general isn't looking the same. And because of that, I believe that's allowed for the Ravens to ease up when it comes to certain things. They don't focus in on what they used to. They're starting to get cute, looking to get better receivers and things of that nature. I even see John Harbaugh, a top-end coach, questioning himself. I believe because he's trying to put trust in Lamar, that led to him saying, "Go ahead and do your thing on the fourth down at the 2-yard line." And instead of taking points, Lamar throws an interception, and the game is sealed at that point. I believe you take points in that situation. You didn't score since the second quarter. Take your points. Lamar, we're trying to prove that Lamar's this while also trying to be a playoff team. Lamar doesn't have to be this, that, and third for them to be an elite playoff team.
Yeah.
Worry about all those things at a later date and we start winning games. You talking about Peters. He's a great corner. I believe I said he was a top 10 corner, right at 10 before the season started. This guy isn't getting it done when it comes to communication, when it comes to essential things at the DB position. If you're not able to be in line with your Marlon Humphreys, your Patrick Queens, and your John Harbaughs, you're going to have to get up out of there. This is a contending team. He was on a contending team before, the Kansas City Chiefs.
He was on two contending teams. He was on the Rams and the Chiefs.
Right, and they got him up out of there. Now, the Ravens have potential. Lamar has potential. But the thing that you hang your hat on, you have to be able to hang your hat on it if you want to win this way. If you're going to run the ball and rely on Lamar, you have to have a great defense you can hang your hat on.
Yeah, but wouldn't you want to get these how can I say this? Wouldn't you want to get these bumps out of the road now than to lose the big games? So next time you can learn from these situations, right? You play two tough games against two very tough opponents, against two playoff teams that you will potentially have to see in the AFC in the playoffs. So wouldn't you want to get that out the way now, so the next time that comes around, you're like, hey, you know what? They're not going to get this. We're not going to let Miami get us this time. We're not going to let Buffalo get us this time. And you'll be well prepared for those current situations, especially against two tough teams. I can see if it was a shootout with the Jets. I can see if it was a shootout with the Patriots. Like, those teams don't have the weapons that the Bills and the Dolphins have, right? So So isn't that important? Isn't that better now than later?
I would say it would be better now as opposed to later, but these problems have been an issue for years now. Like, it's not something that they have fixed. Like, they have problems putting up points and against contending teams, against teams that are going to make Lamar beat them with his arm. Making that defense play great defense in and out the red zone, not just bending but not breaking, but being a difference, maybe causing turnovers and things of that nature, flipping the field, special teams. That's not what's going on with these Ravens. So there's a lot of chemistry issues. These are newer issues alongside knowing if you have the right guy at quarterback or not. They're not paying him, or they're not hesitant with paying him for a reason. I know he needs to get paid. I agree. But what he's asking for and what he's showing on that field just doesn't match. And with the slippage of the defense, it doesn't assist in me feeling comfortable with paying you when what's helped you be what you are is an elite defense. Situation matters, and our situation is getting worse. And I believe Lamar's a quarterback where his situation can make or break him because his abilities don't make the team. No, I'm gonna say that again. His abilities don't make the team. They don't make up for different things. Patrick Mahomes doesn't need certain things. Josh Allen too. He don't need certain things because of his abilities. But Lamar's lack of ability, Tua's lack of ability. Like, there's certain things that quarterbacks on the lower end need as far as their situation to help propel them, and the Ravens seem to be slipping in those other categories.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at their schedule here. Looks like they got a pretty. They could win some of their next games, but the Bengals could be a shootout. The Bengals are starting to get back on track here. They got the Giants, who I think they can beat. Mm-hmm. They got the Browns, who I think they can beat, which is a division game. Mm-hmm. But then you go against three solid defenses in Tampa. You got the Saints, and then you got the Panthers and the Jaguars. So I mean, you're right on the money, man. This team can lose some of these games that are coming up on the schedule. At least within the next 5 games, there's at least 3 of them that they can possibly lose. And at 2-2, you're looking at 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who knows? Who knows where it goes from there?
Right. That division is the only way. I had the Ravens winning the division. Everyone's 2-2 on that mug except for the Steelers. So they still got, an opportunity, but now is the time.
Oh, yeah.
You ready to get into some hoops?
Let's do it, man. See, the season's right around the corner. I mean, we're what, 3 weeks away?
Oh yeah, man. The
3 weeks away.
October. It is here, man. NBA preseason buzz, man. We gonna start off with the Suns or them Lakers. Who you feeling first, man? What you thinking?
We're gonna start off with the Suns, man.
Okay.
So the Suns lose to a non-NBA team, and then Monty and Ayton hasn't even spoke since he signed his contract to get back with the Suns.
Crazy.
After they didn't want to let him go.
Mad.
He was out. He was going to Indy. He was gone. And the Suns said no. Has the window closed on them? I think it has, man. I think it has. I'm looking at this team, and I just see a breakup happening. Chris Paul's about to be 37 years old. He can't stay healthy, at least until he gets to the playoffs.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I still think Chris Paul got it in him. He could still pass the ball like no other. He could still dribble. And from any given night, he could put up a 25-point game easily when he's hot.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's going to do that every night. He'll probably get you like 17, maybe 18 points.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get you that 7 assists.
Yeah. For sure.
Steal, right?
For sure.
His knowledge of the game is top notch, but I just don't see it. Devin Booker can't do it by himself, and the only thing he is a pure scorer. DeAndre Ayton, he don't step up in big moments. He's a 6'11" big man who is fairly athletic, fairly all-around center. I need it in the big moments.
Right.
You got my man what's his name that asked for a trade?
Jay Crowder.
Jay Crowder. He wants to get out of there,
Mm-hmm.
right? You lost. Didn't they lose T.J. Warren?
Yes, they did.
They don't have T.J. Warren anymore.
Nope, not in the squad.
I'm slowly seeing this team's playoff hopes dwindle. Very tough Western Conference. Western Conference, right? You got Denver that has that's getting their players back, Michael Porter Jr. and also Jamal Murray. Right? So you got to look out for Denver. You got LA coming back. They're healthy. LeBron's healthy. AD, hopefully he can stay healthy. We'll get into the Lakers next, right? You got Memphis. Memphis is a tough team. Ja's not going nowhere. Ja's still here, and they got a solid all-around team. There's not a second fiddle for Ja, but he has a collective of talent that can get them in that seventh, maybe sixth seed, right? We got the Clippers. John Wall's back. John Wall's with the Clippers. You got a healthy Paul George. You got a healthy Kawhi, right? Who am I missing here? Who am I missing here on the West?
The Pelicans up there. Mavericks.
I was thinking the Mavericks. Who am I missing? I feel like I'm missing a big time. Missing a big time team. It's Timberwolves. The Warriors. There we go. The Warriors. The Warriors is there. The Timberwolves. Right. You can easily be looking at a fifth to a play-in tournament for this team. Just the simple fact, I think, is just their window is not there anymore. I think they were there when they lost to Milwaukee. That was their time to win it. Anytime after, I don't. They lost it.
I can see where you're coming from with that, man. Because to me, they don't have. Actually, I don't know. They have a little place they can go, man. Devin Booker's not that old. He's really right in the middle of his prime. I can see him becoming more than a pure scorer. Monty Williams is one of the better coaches in the NBA. Mikal Bridges is one of the better two-way wing defenders. And
Mikal Bridges, there we go.
One of the better leaders in the NBA as well, I would say. Cameron Johnson's role will increase. Someone's going to have to fill that role off the bench, the sixth man off the bench. Ayton is the key, though. He has to take another step. And they have to, if you're going to pay him, you need to, just like Jerry Jones with Dak, if you're going to pay him, go ahead and do what you need to do to make that relationship what it needs to be. Do the same with Ayton. Ayton is young. He has a lot of potential. You have a great mind with him and Chris Paul. He's going to maximize his abilities on some Lob City, DeAndre Jordan. But I think Ayton wants more of a well-rounded game. He wants a face-up game. He wants a Mari Stoudemire type of game, not DeAndre Jordan roll into the basket type of game. I think style of play for Ayton is the biggest issue. And I believe they can work it out. I believe Chris Paul is on a mission. Devin Booker, after the 36ers loss, this thing don't even really matter too much to me. The 76ers, 36ers, whoever, they lost in the preseason.
Yeah.
Preseason. So I ain't even really tripping about that. But
yeah,
Booker
I'm not worried about that.
has a chip on the shoulder. Yeah, he has a chip on the shoulder. Chris Paul chip. Everybody got a chip on his shoulder. Crowder out of there, I like that, though. Crowder, to me, that's what makes me lean. It would be the only reason to make me lean towards what you're saying as far as the window being closed. Crowder has an eye for championship teams. Crowder was on that Miami team. Crowder is usually, sort of like Iguodala, in the right situation at the right time. Got the eye for it, man. And Crowder being out there is a telltale sign of what might be going on in Phoenix.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
Other than that, they need an enforcer in there, PJ Tucker type of guy, Jay Crowder type of guy, because Ayton is not that. He's not. But this Suns team can make it. I agree with what you said about a 7th to 5th seed. I can see. We'll see. But it's time for the Lake Show. It's time to talk about these Lakers, man. There was a trade that could have went down. You're talking Russell Westbrook along with 2 future picks going to the Indiana Pacers for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. This trade would have been crazy. This trade would have shook the NBA season before it even started. It would have interrupted the NFL season slightly. Russ, was it an issue for you for them to not trade Russ? What you thinking?
I see it both. I feel like I see it both sides, right?
Okay.
I see the Lakers saying, "No, we put this together." As far as bringing Russ in, as far as the organization saying, "No, we don't want to give up our 2 future draft picks because we don't know what's going to happen with LeBron." Okay, I get it. LeBron is saying, "Nah, I'm gonna show y'all I can win with Russell Westbrook." So I'm not pushing for this trade. If you do it, great. It's okay. You bring in a guy, Buddy Hield, who can score off the bench, which is perfect for them. That's probably what they need right there. And then you get a defensive big man in Miles Turner, which is perfect. I think as a fit, as a scheme, it would have been perfect for them. That's a perfect setup. But
Right.
I think as an organization, the Lakers are like, no, that's not what I want, because I don't know what the future lies upon. Once LeBron leaves, because we know he's going to go play with Bronny, wherever he is, right? Do we really want AD? Can I really count on AD? Do I really want to pay AD max money when he can't even get me consistently 60 games per year? Is that really going to be the face of our franchise? No, because I think once LeBron leaves, they're going to get rid of everybody. AD's out of there, and I'm sure Russell Westbrook, this is his last year in LA. But I think it's a pride thing for LeBron. I think it's an organizational thing for the Lakers. But overall, I think they should have made that trade. You can't go into the season with Antonio Bryant being Thomas Bryant. Sorry about that. Thomas Bryant being your only big man, and he's like 6'9", 6'10", so he's not a true big. Yeah, you got AD who's gonna have to really play the 5. How are you gonna get all of these guards in rotation when Schroeder is ball dominant, LeBron is ball dominant, and Russell Westbrook is ball dominant? You still got Patrick Beverley, who you're gonna make him play the 2. You got Lonnie Walker, who is probably gonna have to play the 2. Well, he really plays the 2 or the 3, but he shows flashes. I mean, how are you gonna get all these guys? Kendrick Nunn. How you gonna rotate all these guys in? Who's gonna play in the fourth quarter? Who's gonna be the closers? I won't be surprised if Russ is on the bench during the fourth quarters, and Patrick Bev and Schroeder's out there or at the guards. So, if it was me, I would have made that trade. We're trying to win now. Do you want to win? Do you want to win championships, or do you? What the Rams say? F them picks. F them picks. Win now. It'll all come to you. Just win.
The Lakers, man, we are not the Miami Heat. We cannot afford to just say, LeBron, here you go. Or maybe we can. We got that bubble championship. Some people give it credit. Some people don't. I'm going to say we won the championship. And with that being said, since LeBron James has gotten to the LA Lakers, we have been in win-now mode. Wherever LeBron goes is win-now mode today, tomorrow, and until I leave, if I'm LeBron James. So if you were the LA Lakers, you can't pick and choose when you want to be all in or all out. You gave up Lonzo. You gave up this. You gave up that. Brandon Ingram. The list goes on.
Very young team. That was a very young team they blew up.
It's crazy, man. So why are we acting as if we don't want to give up picks or assets now? No. You already started. Go ahead and continue. Let's go ahead and try to get another championship. Go ahead, get Russ out of there. I'm a Russ fan. Get Russ out of there. This ain't Russ in his prime. You got to go. We need spacing. We need shooters. We need reliability defensively because AD, he doesn't want to be the anchor. Maybe he can't be. Maybe his durability is why he can't be the anchor. And with that being said, to my LeBron James led team, spacing matters the most. 3-and-D ability matters the most. Miles Turner is one of the top 5, I would say, centers who can stretch the floor. Miles Turner's
and he can shoot.
Yes, he can.
And he can shoot.
Elite
That's what I'm
shot
saying. How do you
blocker.
not take that trade all day? You get out of Russell's contract. You got Buddy Yield to put up 50, give you 15 points easily off the bench.
He's easily top 10 in 3-point shooting as well. Buddy Hield is a knockdown 3-point shooter, up there with the best of them in the league. LeBron would maximize that on another level, and that would be a championship team. That spacing, along with the top-end talent, LeBron, AD, and you're getting the assets for the star of Westbrook, you're getting comparable value there, maybe more. That's why Indiana didn't want to do it. Well, actually, the Lakers didn't want to do it. If I was Indiana, I wouldn't want to do it because you're not getting enough. Those picks, they're expiring contracts. I believe Miles Turner's expiring contract. But other than that, I don't really see too much upside for the Pacers, so I don't even know why they would accept that deal. Lakers, I don't know what y'all thinking. Should have taken it. Westbrook is there for another year, it seems. And there's one more thing I want to say about those Suns. And I heard a stat, or I heard a line where Luka's team was the last team to beat a pro team in the circuit before the season, after the season, whatever. Now, the things are shifting. They've been shifting for a while now. And I believe that the competitive nature is just different nowadays than it was before. But the skill worldwide has gone to another level. So the combination of both is what was led this throw-off team, this off-brand version of the 76ers, the 36ers, to be able to beat the Phoenix Suns. It's not far-fetched in this era. Skill is on another level throughout the world. Now.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't. That game is nothing, man. That game is nothing. This ain't the regular season. Who cares? This is basketball. I got an 82-game season I got to worry about. I'm not worried about the 33ers, the 66ers, whatever their team name was. I don't care. I'm about to go face LeBron in 2 weeks. You think I care about who Joe Schmo on the 33ers? I don't even know the team name. I gotta go play LeBron and the Joker next week. Come on, man. But still, yeah. The Lakers should have did that all day. And if I'm Indiana, I'm not sending that trade. But then again, it depends on what you're looking at as far as the organization. I think that they might be trying to blow up the team as well. They're just trying to get the draft picks like Houston, like the Thunder, right? You see what the Cavaliers did with their draft picks. They've had some solid picks, and then you bring in Spider. That team, we talked about this. That team is looking like a tough team. So, yeah, we definitely gonna ramp up this NBA talk.
Oh yeah. We're gonna talk about y'all fans, beautiful fans.
Yeah, man.
We appreciate the support before we even get into it, man. These questions you guys got for us, man, it's exciting, man. The fan interaction. We're gonna answer y'all questions and get at it, man. You want to start it off?
Yeah, man, for sure, man. So first, like Jimmy said, man, we appreciate y'all asking these questions. We appreciate y'all tuning in. So this one's for y'all. First question here is from Rich Marcelli, aka Black Rich. What's up, my boy? His question is, the 49ers aren't running the ball. Do you think the Niners front office is setting up Jimmy G to fail based on his contract? I don't think they're trying to set him up to fail. I think for this team, it's all about game script. Elijah Mitchell averaged 18 touches per game last year. That's not including Debo's touches, and you sprinkle in a little bit of Jeff Wilson, right? This year, the game script has been a little different. At first, they had a dual threat quarterback. They had Trey Lance in there. So he's stealing touches from a lot of your running backs because your so-called pass plays sometimes ends up as a run play for him, right? Because he's looking to run the football on the ground. And then you also talk about running back health. Already, Elijah Mitchell's already hurt. The 49ers have been have been consistently, for some reason, their running backs can't stay healthy every single year for at least the last 3 years. So you see Debo isn't even running the football as much as he was last year.
True.
So you're trying to stay healthy on that side as well. You don't have Trent Williams. You don't have George Kittle. They're big in the run game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, I think it's all about game flow. Honestly, I think Jimmy G actually is a better fit for this offense than Trey Lance is anyway. I think he's able to get Debo the ball more. I think he works well with Kittle. I think he can game manage better.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it has nothing to do with his contract. He took a pay cut, but majority of his contract is being paid off playing time. So the more he plays, the more he gets paid. So honestly, if it was about that contract, he wouldn't be in the game right now. Right? And he has a no trade clause. So they want to pay him because they want to win games. That's what they're here to do. So honestly, I think it's all about game script. The only game that they were able to really control the game was so far has been the Seahawks game, and they won 27-7.
Right.
And they had 45 running plays during that game. So you can see when the game script goes in their direction, they're looking to run the football, but there's a different team now. So I think it's all about game script for them. If they control the game, they will run the football. And trust me, it'll happen again. Elijah Mitchell hopefully comes back this year. Jeff Wilson has been playing pretty well. And, so like I said, Debo isn't getting the ball. So they'll eventually start running the ball again.
I definitely agree with that. And this next question is going to come from Mr. Billy on my YouTube channel. Mr. Billy had a question. He said, 3 game winning blocks in one season. Is that an example of a bad defender? We're talking about Nikola Jokic here, the Joker. Last week, Cuzzo brung up the Joker, saying he can do all this and all that, and talked about his defense. And I just couldn't help myself, man. Still flabbergasted. But as far as this question, to answer that, I believe good defenders do bad things and bad defenders can do good things. I believe the Joker is a capable defender, a capable team defender. I'd like to point to an example of James Harden in the bubble. Some people credit the bubble, some people don't. James Harden had a game-winning, really series-winning block against Dort, one of the better elite defenders on OKC. We would never consider James Harden an elite defender. We would never consider James Harden a good defender, a two-way player, anything like that. Steph Curry, another example. 2015-16 season led the league when it came to steals average. We would never consider Steph Curry a good defender, a two-way defender, an elite defender, or anything like that. The Joker's weaknesses, you're talking about pick and roll coverage and switches. In the era where we're looking to switch or we're running a pick and roll almost every time down the court, the Joker plays the passing lanes very well. The Joker is a good/great defensive rebounder, which is the last part of a defensive possession, is securing that rebound to ensure the offensive possession is kick-started. The Joker is capable, once again, but to classify him as an effort defender, which is what I classify Steph Curry as, I just can't do it. When we're talking about that list, top 5 players, top 10 players in the league, we can't put him in two-way category when it comes to the Giannis's, the Joels. The only guy I would say he's a better defender than is Luka Doncic. So with those blocks, great job, Joker. You're capable. But no, I wouldn't say it means you're a bad defender. I wouldn't say it means you're a good defender. I think it means you're a capable defender.
Okay. Well, there you have it, man. There you have it. We had another good one, cuz.
For sure.
Another one. That was a good one, man. We got some good topics in. Yeah, we appreciate y'all for tuning in, man.
We definitely do.
And until next time, peace.
We are.
This that C-O-M-E-U-P. Stand back while I do me. I'm the King James of this era. Do my best to be 2-3. You see, the metaphoric beat destroying MC. They had to wait his turn, sit and learn from the OGs, but slowly I had myself out like it slowly get take paper to make paper. So I'm speaking from this loose leaf. Damn. I ain't even gotta talk about it. They said you public in the basement, but your songs is private. Bring back the monster, the one that you keep locked in. Shit, I ain't gotta score the points. Look at John Stockton. I put my niggas on just so they can make a profit. But for now, I ain't get up and play that monster in the closet.